today's practice, any props that you find useful and supportive. I always like to have a block close by. Let's start on our backs. Any shape with the body, whatever is calling to you. So feet can be wide, knees can knock in. Maybe the legs are out straight or soles of the feet together with knees apart. You might try some different shapes and decide which one is the right one today. Place your hands on your body here. One hand on the belly and one hand on the chest. And as you begin to tune into your practice right here, right now, breathing into the hands, the belly rises and then the chest on the inhales. These first few moments of the practice, narrowing the focus, and doing an overall check-in. What do I notice right here? How does it feel in the body, in the mind? What can I deliver to myself today through the practice? This practice offers us the opportunity to get still, quiet the mind, so that we can touch that space of inner wisdom. The part of us that already knows all the answers. And begin to bring the knees towards the torso, giving yourself a nice tight squeeze. Press the tailbone on the earth. Breathe deeply into the belly. Gentle rock from side to side. Take the knees up and over to the right, coming into a spinal twist. And the knees come back through center and over to the left. You could scoot the hips to the right. Come back through center. Hug the knees in. Extend the legs up towards the sky. Knees can be bent here. And gentle swaying side to side. Maybe drawing some circles with the feet. Facing the ceiling, both directions. Come through center, hug the knees in. Left foot on the floor, right ankle rotates clockwise and counterclockwise. Interlace hands behind the hamstring, draw heel to sky. Roll the outer hip forward as there's a gentle resistance between hand and hamstrings. The left leg might extend long, or you can keep the foot on the floor. Pull belly to spine. Release the hands from behind the hamstring, interlace them behind the head. Inhale, lift head and heart up towards the sky. Let the head be heavy and the hands. Slowly lower the right leg towards the earth and lift it up. It doesn't have to get all the way towards the earth. It might only go halfway. But if the left leg is extended and it's really too difficult to lift and lower the right leg, then I say bend the left knee, keep the sole of the foot on the floor. If all of this is feeling really good, you might float the left leg just off the earth. One more. Hug both knees in, round into a little ball. Lower the head down. Right foot on the floor, interlace hand, or roll the left ankle clockwise, counterclockwise. Interlace hands behind hamstring, heel to sky. Feel the resistance as the left hip rolls forward. It hugs into the midline. Keep the low back pressing onto the earth. Belly pulling up and in, interlace hands behind the head. And begin to lift head and heart towards the sky. Slowly lowering and lifting the left leg. And you choose whether or not to have the right leg knee bent, sole of the foot on the floor, or maybe the leg extends. Try to keep internal rotation in both thighs. You might float the right leg. One more. Hug both knees in. Lower the head to the earth. Legs up to the sky. Take the hands and frame the tush, framing the tailbone and SI joints, the sacral plate. Knees can certainly be bent here. Lift head and heart up towards the sky. Lower the legs as far as you can go, challenging yourself a bit here. Keep the neck long. Avoid crunching chin to chest. 3 more. Keep pulling belly to spine, low back pressing to the earth. Building up our core strength. Center of self and balance. Lower down after that 3rd round. Rock forward and back along the spine. 3 or 4 times. Come up into a seat. Cross at the shins, right in front of left. Arms float up. Fold forward. Inhale, float up, arms float up. Exhale, left hand down, right arm up and over. Inhale, float up, arms reach up. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, float up, arms reach up. Exhale, twist to the right. Right hand, or left hand, right knee, right hand behind. Keep pulling left hip back and down. Inhale, arms float up, center. Exhale, fold in. Taking this a little bit quicker. Inhale, float up. Exhale, tip over towards the left. Inhale, center. Exhale forward. Inhale up. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, lift up. Switch the crossing of the shins. Left in front of right. Arms float, inhale. Exhale, fold in. Couple breaths here. Inhale, lift up, arms float up. Exhale, right hand down, left arm up and over. Stretch through the side body. The left hip roots down as you reach through those left fingertips. Inhale through center. Exhale, twist over to the left. Right hand lands on left knee. Shoulders down the back. Inhale, center, arms lift. Exhale, fold in. And then one breath per movement. Inhale, arms float up. Exhale, tip over towards the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, fold in. Slowly crawl the hands back towards the shins and come on to hands and knees. Coming into tabletop. Hands line up underneath shoulders. Index fingers can be parallel, maybe slightly turned out. Knees under hips. Making a nice square with the arms and legs. Everything at a 90-degree angle. Tip the heart forward, inhale. Open the chest wide. Maybe a little sway of the hips side to side. Around the spine, dome into the back, belly pulling up and in. Breathing here, getting space between the shoulder blades. As you try and hollow out the armpits, scooping the elbows in. Keep that rotation in the arms. Inhale, heart lifts, cow. Exhale, dome through the back, cat. Tabletop. Step the right foot back. Little pulse of the heel. Float the leg to the height of the hip. Keep reaching, reaching, reaching through that heel. Bend the knee. Press the heel to the sky. Open it out to the side. Press it back up towards the sky. Just this little rotation, you'll feel it in the outer hip. Heel to sky, knee out to side. Keep moving there. And then land with the heel facing the sky. Extend the leg back. Toes to the earth. Swivel the heel of the right foot to the earth. Walk the hands 90 degrees to the right. Take the left shin so that now the foot is behind the knee. The knee is pointing towards the right side of the mat. The left foot points to the left side of the mat. So we're in this kind of gate pose with our legs. And then start bending and straightening the right knee. And then let's rotate around in circles, rolling out the hip. Both directions. Pause through center. Take the left hand outside of the left knee, about the same distance as your waist would be from your armpit, so that the hand can land underneath the shoulder. You could have a block here. Right arm up and over, stretch through the side waist. And try and turn the chest a little more towards the sky. Keep pressing into the sharp edge of the right foot. The right toes are facing towards the right side of the mat. Use your core strength. Come up onto the fingertips of the left hand. Keep engaging the core, tucking tailbone slightly. Can you upright the torso? Hands to hips, nice. Left arm reaches up, right hand can stay on right hip, up and over towards the right. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, center. Exhale, hands walk towards what is the back of the mat. Point the right toes towards the back of the mat. Right hand can be inside the right foot. Begin to open the chest. So the right hip, we want to feel external rotation in the right hip. The outer right hip hugs in and under the body. So you'll feel a strengthening and a stretching here on the inner groin. One more breath in. And exhale, hands both land towards the back of the mat. Step the left foot back so that your hips distance, and let the hips sink towards the earth. Come into a twist. Left hand stays down, right arm up. Inhale. Exhale, hand to the earth. Step the right knee back, come into cow pose, facing the back of the mat. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, round cat pose. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Keep moving with cow and cat. You might begin to pump it a little faster, building up some energy. So the breath could pump. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Or you might prefer taking it slow, being really specific with your movements. About 10 more seconds. Slow it down. Tabletop. Step the left foot back, press through the heel. Little pulse. Belly to spine. Float the leg. Bend the knee. Press the heel towards the sky. Open it out to the left like a peeing dog on a fire hydrant. Lift the heel back up. Close off that hip. Open external rotation and then internal rotation. So we're moving the hip between internal and external rotation. Once more. Back through center, pause. Extend the leg back, lower the toes to the earth. Swivel the heel down towards the mat. Walk the hands 90 degrees to the left. Swivel that right knee so that the toes point behind you. And then bending the left knee. Bend and straighten. So look, we're just mirroring what we did on the first side. And then you might go forward and back. You might take it into full circles. Keep the attachment of the sole of the left foot onto the earth. And then pause and center. Walk the right hand outside the right knee so it lines up underneath the shoulder. Left arm, scoop it overhead. Get that rotation of the chest. You can even tuck chin towards armpit. All the while keeping the shoulder away from the ear. Breathe lots of space through the side waist. Start to really engage that core, tucking the tailbone. Come onto fingertips. And then lift using all that core strength. Beautiful. Hands to hips. Right arm up, overhead. Tilt it over towards the left. Again, you could tuck chin towards armpit, peeking up underneath the arm. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, center. Hands to earth, walk them over towards the top of the mat. So the left hand stays underneath, or stays right inside the left foot. And then the right arm reaches up towards the sky. So the inner left thigh rolls over the top of the thigh as the outer thigh hugs underneath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Hand to earth. Come onto the back knee. Walk it over towards the right side some. Let the hips sink. Tapping into the breath, tapping into the stillness. Reach the left arm up, come into a twist. Float the left hand down outside the left foot, tuck the back toes, straighten the leg. Take the weight into the left foot, spring forward, top of the mat, feet hips distance. You could take your two fists in between your arches, that's about hips distance there. Deep bend in the knees so that the torso can rest on the thighs. That's our first point of awareness in this pose. Head is heavy towards the earth. We shift the weight so it's even in the feet. Feel the inner arches lift. As you lift those inner arches and hug the outer ankles, you can feel the activity of the leg hug the outer hips. And then you're rotating the sit bones towards the sky, turning that pelvic wheel. So oftentimes people try and come into a forward fold by really rounding the spine. And we want to avoid that because that's removing the stretch from our legs. So the more length we can get through the spine, the more activity we can get into the hamstrings. Hands to shins, belly to spine. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold in. Seal into the feet as you sweep the arms up and overhead. Draw the hands to heart center. Pause. Connecting back to that inner wisdom. What am I delivering to myself in this practice today? Arms float up and overhead, soft gaze. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, heart lifts halfway. Plant the hands, step back into plank pose. First plank of the day, perhaps. Holding here. Heels reaching back, legs nice and active. Hips lifted. Press forward onto the tippy toes, then lower the knees, then halfway lower. Modified chaturanga. Press back up, straighten the legs, plank pose. So either modified chaturanga or full chaturanga for this next one. And we're gonna pause there for a moment and then lower down. Come forward, lower through modified or full chaturanga. Pause, and then onto your bellies. Uncurl the toes, walk the hands beside the chest. Tops of the feet seal to the earth, pelvis presses down. Belly pulls up and in as you lift forward and up with the chest. Think of the hands scrubbing back, the elbows hugging together. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Hands walk off the mat, tent up onto fingertips, press tops of the feet. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Like a flowing water, inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Walk the hands back beside the chest. Tuck the toes, belly to spine, engage the legs. Press up either to hands and knees or full plank. Downward facing dog. Feel into this pose. Feel into the body here. Can you deepen the breath a bit more, keeping the knees gently bent As you send the hips up and back, scoop the elbows, pull belly to spine. Give a little bounce to the heels. Inhale high onto the toes, look forward, bend the knees, step or hop, feet to hands. Heart lifts, inhale. Exhale, fold in, plant into the feet, sweep the arms. Surya Namaskar A, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms lift. Lead with the heart, exhale, fold in. Inhale, flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, plank, chaturanga or modified. Back bend, down dog. 3 breaths. Right leg lifts, inhale. Exhale, step the foot to the hands. Stay high on the back toes, belly to spine, outer hips hug, strong back leg. And float the arms back. Keep reaching the heart forward. Hugging that right hip in. Maybe the arms float forward. Keep pressing into that front heel, engaging the core upright. Crescent warrior, the back knee can bend. Have the scoop of the elbows so the triceps are hugging in and the shoulders can fall away from the ears. Inhale, look up, hands to heart center, hands to hips. Straighten into the front leg, soft bend in the knee. Back heel swivels down, it's on a sharp angle. So the left toes are pointing towards the upper left corner of the mat. Press into the back heel so that you can rotate the inner left thigh back and square the hips off. Begin to bend into the front knee. The arms can float when you feel nice and balanced and sturdy in the pose. Virabhadrasana 1. Feel the lift out of the legs as they root towards the earth. One more inhale. Exhale, hands to the earth. Step back, plank, vinyasa, or straight into downward facing dog. What is available for this practice today? Left leg lifts. Step the foot through to the hands. Wide enough stance so you're not on rail or so that you're not on a tightrope. You are on railroad tracks. Press into the front heel, hug the hip in. Strong back leg, belly to spine. Try and get that front knee towards 90 as you float the arms. And if it's wobbly, the left foot can move more to the left. Maybe the arms float forward. Keep hugging outer hips, soft bend in the back knee. Upright crescent warrior. Feeling the lift of the heart, the strength of the back leg. Front heel rooting down, scrubbing back. Inhale, look up, hands touch. Hands to heart center and onto hips. Straighten into the front leg. Back heel swivels down. So, as you do that, you might notice the hips begin to open towards the right. Well, we want to press more into the back heel with the right toes pointing towards the upper corner so that the inner thigh can spiral back. That helps to rotate that right hip forward like a headlight on a car. And then you can bend. As you bend into that front knee, keep firing up the back leg like it's grounding you. Like it's, as you pull the weight forward, it's pulling you back. And then the arms could float. Virabhadrasana 1. Activate the core and the tight transverse abdominis muscles, those core sitting muscles, hugging the ribs in and forward so that the chest is squared. Probably your chest is more square to the front than the hips. That's okay. One more breath in. Maybe look up, hands touch. Hands to the earth. Step forward to the top of the mat. Heart lifts, inhale. Fold and exhale. Plant into the feet, sweep the arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center. Pause. Connecting to that intention. What am I delivering to myself with this practice? Release the hands. Blink the eyes open, soft gaze, belly up and in. Sink the hips, Utkatasana. Let's hold here, let's breathe for a little while. You can lift the toes, spread them wide and lower them back down. The heels press down and pull away from one another without the knees collapsing in. Belly's pulling up and in. One more breath in. Exhale, hands down, fold in, lift the hips up. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, through a vinyasa or straight into dog. Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, step it through. Back heel comes to the earth, setting up warrior one in the legs, hugging the outer hips and floating up. Keep rooting down into that front heel and the back heel. And then on the next exhale, open to warrior two. The back toes are not as a severe angle anymore. You might line up heel to arch. There's a slight curving of the outer left hip forward, but we're not trying to square the hips anymore. Moving towards 90 in the front knee. Flip the front palm. Inhale, reverse. On the exhale, bring elbow to knee. Top arm scoops overhead. So that elbow on that right thigh is reminding the inner thigh to roll open to the outer thigh so that the knee doesn't collapse in and the outer hip hugs in and under. Feel the length all the way from the sharp edge of the left foot up through the side waist. Parsvakonasana. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, hands up and over. Step back, move through, decide how to make your way to down dog. Down dog. Left leg lifts. Step it through. Back heel down to the earth. Outer hips hug, squaring hips forward. Float up. Warrior one. Strong back leg. On the next exhale, open. Warrior two. We find the pose, we let it imprint in our bodies, right? So you figure out your hips, that front knee towards 90, that back leg is so engaged, arms are active. And then once you've found that, you breathe into it. You allow yourself to have the moment of stillness. Inhale, reverse the warrior, up and overhead. On the next exhale, reach forward with the left fingertips, elbow to thigh, top arm scoop it overhead. Nice long line of energy all the way from the right foot to right fingertips. Left hip, hug it in and back, like it could press into the right heel. So you get so much space on the left side waist. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, arms up and over. Vinyasa to dog to child's pose. Pause in child's pose. Notice the breath. Just a moment here. And then we're going to move side to side. One breath per movement. We'll be kicking up some more energy and heat. Come to downward facing dog. Take breaks as you see fit. Skip whatever you'd like. Add anything that feels useful. Right leg lifts, inhale. Exhale, step it through, swivel the back heel down. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, Parsvottanasana. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, hands to the earth, vinyasa or skip. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it through. Back heel swivels. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, Parsvottanasana. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, arms up and over into downward facing dog. 3 rounds of breath in down dog. And then we'll go once more from side to side. And take as long as you like with each pose. Maybe you lengthen out the breath. I'll lead you through the right side and then you take the left independently. Right leg lifts, step it through. Warrior one is our first pose. And we open to warrior two. We reverse into Parsvottanasana. Back through reverse. And up and over. Take your second side. Wall end and down dog. Following your breath pattern. From down dog, lower the knees. Either sit on a block or sit back on heels. If having the legs bent underneath you in a seat is painful, please sit crossed shins. Feel your heartbeat. Smooth out all the edges of the breath. The breath rushes in and fills the belly and chest. We exhale, breathe out all of the air, so that the next breath can rush into the belly. And then we slow it down, get really intentional with the breath in. Come to hands and knees. Tuck toes, down dog. Step the left foot forward. Swivel the right heel down. Point the left toes towards the right side of the mat. Walk the hands halfway towards 90 degrees towards the right side. So you're in a forward fold, wide leg forward fold. And then you can fold in. Keeping a soft bend in the knees, more weight to the ball of the foot. Inner arches lift. Then you can come up onto hands and bend one knee at a time. The hands can support. If you're feeling mobile today, you can take it into Skandasana. The toes float up on the opposite side. And back through center. Walk the hands all the way to the back of the mat. Point the right toes to the back of the mat. Lower the left knee down. Come into the twist again. This could be plenty. You might reach the right arm up. You could bend the left knee and catch hold of the top of the foot. Release that. Walk the right foot over towards the left. Let's come into single pigeon. Lift the chest and then fold in. You could land in Sphinx in the upper body. Forearms on the earth, heart reaching forward. Taking your time to fold in any amount. The practice isn't about, what kind of fancy pose can I contort my body into, or how fast can I do my chaturangas, or it's about what is the state of my mind as I go through these difficult postures. And slowly lifting. Swivel onto the right hip. Take the legs wide, a wide V with tush on the ground. Lift the heart. Hands can be behind the hips. Legs are engaged. This might be plenty. Or perhaps walking the hands down center feels useful. Come back up. We're going to move towards the left side. So just step into a low lunge on the left side. I don't have a good fancy way to get into it. Right hand stays down. Left hand onto left knee for twist. Maybe the right heel kicks in. You can play with pulling the foot closer or pressing it away. Release that. Walk the left foot to the right. Take your time. Protect your body by slowing it all down so you can really listen in. What's useful today may not be what was useful yesterday. There really can't be any comparison in your practice, not to others, not to even yourself from yesterday. We have to be willing to show up with a beginner's mind every day, with curiosity, compassion. A few more breaths here. And slowly lifting yourself out of that side. Just bring the right leg forward. Both legs extend out in front of you. Move the flesh out from under the sit bones. Flex the toes back. Knees can be bent here. You could have a roll, a towel roll, or blanket roll underneath the knees. Float the arms up. Think of the pelvis tilting forward. So you want to get the frontal hip points to fold in as the sit bones reach back, back, back. And then the hands can land wherever they land. But just like in our forward fold, when we're on our feet, we're trying to get the torso to make contact with the thighs. I find it much more difficult when we're seated. And then you can let the head hang. You might even press chin to chest. Rock it side to side. See how that really sends some messages down the back, maybe even down the legs. Further proof that nothing is separate inside the body, it's all connected. Roll up. Maybe give yourself a little bit of a challenge here. As you engage the belly, reach the arms forward. We're going to try and roll down one vertebrae at a time. You're certainly welcome to use the hands if there comes a point when it feels like, oh, I'm going to fall. But right before that point, try and pause at that place and engage the core more. So as you lower, 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 there might, oh, there's a point, pull in the belly. And eventually, we'll all land. I'll get there. Take a quick little moment in Shavasana here. And then bring the knees towards the chest. Little rocking. Knees to the right, hips scoot to the left. You could gaze out towards the left side. Deep breath into the belly. Side out. Come through center. Knees come up and over towards the left as the hips scoot towards the right. Squaring the chest towards the sky, reach through the right fingertips. Maybe the gaze goes towards the right. Take a deep breath into the belly. Side out, feel the body soften to the earth. The practice slows down, the brain might start getting more active, be aware. Come through center. The brain might start planning for after the practice, knees in. Let's all start with a modified happy baby. Hands behind the hamstrings, knees fall open. And this is one option. You could rock a bit here. You can flex the feet, begin to engage the shins and calves. You could hold onto the shins, fronts of the shins. Maybe you could hold the edges of the feet. From here you can rock side to side. And you might extend one leg at a time, bending the other knee deeply. And pause in center. Hug the knees in. Release the feet onto the floor, knees point to the sky. Press the heels to the earth. Roll the shoulder blades underneath the back and then lift the hips. hips. You can hold the edges of the mat or interlace fingers if that feels useful. Roll down, lower the hips to the earth. Walk the feet wide, knock the knees together. Hands on body, one on belly, one on chest. Rock the knees from side to side. Let the knees stay over to the right, keeping hands on body. What is it like to be in this body right now? Knees up and over to the left. Hands continue to receive information from the body. The exploration of the breath. Knees come back through center. Take a moment and decide what shape the body would like for Shavasana. Feet can be wide, knees can come together, legs can be out in front of you. Whatever choice you make, let yourself trust that it's the right one. Once you land, there's no need to fidget or adjust or change anything. You let yourself fall into the surrender of this pose. The breath moves in and the breath moves out. And that's a wonderful place for focus. hands on the body, noticing the breath, recognizing the moments when the mind moves around, looking for thoughts, searching for a job. And give it the task of hearing your own breath. Begin to deepen that breath. Recognizing the difference from the beginning of practice till now. Maybe the breath feels fuller, more connected. Maybe the mind feels clearer, grounded. Reach the arms up and overhead. You can press the heels forward, stretch through the body. And then on the exhale, hug the knees in, giving yourself a nice tight squeeze. You can roll over onto one side, pause in fetal position. Corpse pose to fetal position. Death to rebirth. We slowly press ourselves up into a comfortable seat. Maybe the eyes can stay gently closed. Hands come together at the heart center. Heart lifts, head bows. And taking this, whatever was delivered unto you through the practice, taking it with you off the mat. Shanti, peace.